Yep. It's
We,
preparing to live stream.
oh, and it'll definitely live stream like now.
We're still working out the kinks, Carrie, on how this all works.
Oh, you're fine. I've never done one, so
Okay. It looks like we are live. So I just want to welcome everyone back to Lunch with MSCA. Um, I'm so excited to share with you all our hot topic for the day of respect. As always, I'm joined here with Coach Candy, the one and only Coach Candy. Every week, we take a little bit of time out of our busy schedules to talk about what it really means to be fired up here at Mountain State Cheer Academy. So, what fired up means for those of you who are new to our podcast here, it stands for all of our core values that we try to instill in our athletes at Mountain State: friendship, integrity, respect, excellence, determination, unity, and positivity. And so, these are the values that we feel not only drive our gym, but also shape our athletes into becoming a better individual on and off the mat. So, today, like I said, we're going to dive into the hot topic of respect.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
I'm so glad you caught my drift there. And what it looks like to, all of our families. How do we model that in the gym or in other sports? How can we as coaches help build more respectful athletes who grow up to be more respectful adults? So today we are so honored to welcome a truly incredible gal, Coach Carrie Park. And Carrie lives right down the road from us here in Weston, West Virginia. She has been a coach and tumbling instructor at Champs Central for the past 8 years. She has been happily married for the last 17 years and is the proud mother of two amazing kids, both who share her love for cheerleading. And her background is really incredible. Carrie cheered for 4 years at Fairmont State University, where she and her team won UCA College Nationals. She then later returned as an assistant coach and helped lead the team to NCAA College Nationals title during the very first year that acro and tumbling was a sport. So Carrie knows her stuff. And she has over 20 years of coaching experience. She has worked with everyone at various levels from little league or youth cheerleading to high school to all-star programs. And on top of that, she has spent more than 2 decades also coaching pageants. And she currently holds the title of American Royal Beauty's National Misses. And if that's not inspiring enough, when she's not coaching, Carrie also dedicates her time to volunteering at her local United Way and several other local nonprofits, where she's able to give back to the community that has also supported her and her family. So please help me welcome Coach Carrie Park. Woo!
hi guys.
Thank you for joining us today. We're so excited that you're here.
Anytime. I'm excited to join you guys.
And you come with a vast background from all these places. So I'm really looking forward to hearing some stories or just a different perspective on today's topic of respect. So, Carrie, let's go ahead and start with what you think that respect looks like in your home, with your family, in your marriage, with your kids, and all of that good stuff.
I think for me, respect starts more with kindness more than anything. I just really want my kids to be like good human beings and kind people. And I can tell you that a lot of people at our gym will say that I am harder on my children than I am on their children. In fact, like I'm pretty sure my kids probably would want to quit cheer if I would treat my athletes like I treat my children, which is probably not a good thing. But they are super respectful, and I just expect, like, we don't do a lot of chores around my house, but I do expect them to be respectful to adults and coaches and answer yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, or yes, coach, no, coach. And even if they don't like something that I'm saying as a mom or as a coach, like they have to learn that nod your head and say yes, and it may not be what you want to do, but there's a purpose behind it, and I promise you, we're going to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, I love that. I think Candy and I can both relate to being harder
Yes.
on our own children. I'm glad you said that because
100%.
I don't know. You cheered at Gym 1, but Zach Morrow
Mhm.
would have been younger than you. I'm not sure if you guys
Mhm.
ever. Okay,
I
so
actually cheered with him on Fusion 5 with Nathy back in the day. So,
oh, cool.
yeah,
So I love Zach, and he
I do
choreographed
too.
our elite team this year. He choreographed our level one,
that's
and
awesome.
he was amazing. But when he came in, he was like, "I'm just so impressed with like the way you have your relationship with your kids." Because like Candy and I, and then another coach, Ariana, we all three have our kids on that team. And he was like, sometimes, I'll go in and work with teams, and this is not what I get. This is not what I see. They want their kid up front or whatever. And I'm like,
Right.
you know, all of us are just very black and white. So I'm glad that you
Hmm.
also share that. And
100%.
yeah, so Candy,
But
I think
we treat those kids like they're our own. And I'm telling
Right.
you, there's some days I'm like, you're gonna have to like coach my child because I cannot handle that
Hmm.
one today because they do better with somebody else than they do with me. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that can be like better. I don't know if you see that in your own children.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
but they like I see that in Adelaide when she's like, Adelaide, get it together. Like,
I'm just like, tag,
seriously.
you're it. I'm out.
I know. She's like, you're going to have to do something with her. Do something. And she's the look.
Yep.
And so she's like, tag, you're it. Go.
Yeah.
Coaches' kids have it the hardest. Like people don't realize they live at the gym. They're there a lot. So even
Yeah.
when they're not on the floor tumbling, they're still at the gym being a part of it. So I think sometimes they get the raw end of the deal, especially my kids. I don't always take them to gymnastics lessons when I need to because I'm tired of being at the gym 5 to 6 days
Yeah.
a week too. So
Yeah.
sometimes they struggle in that aspect. But I'm very hard, like very realistic with my kids. Like at a competition, I'll be like, you tried, but today wasn't your best. I don't think you're going to place in first, but that's okay. We learn from our lesson and we move on. We don't whine, we don't cry, we save our tears for the car. And like, I feel like sometimes coaches' kids are held to a higher expectation and not allowed to have a lot of emotions. And that can be hard too for them because people are looking at them like, oh, well, if Mia's mom is letting her cry, I can cry too. Or if she's complaining, I can complain too. So sometimes they are held to a little bit higher of a standard with respect. So.
I would definitely agree.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think so for sure. And I think that like I also parent in the same way when you said like I don't do chores. We don't have a chore list. We don't have a checklist.
Mhm.
But, you know, and I don't even know where Adelaide got this. I was telling Candy, I think yesterday, she's just she's very organized, she's very clean, and I'm like kind of a messy person. My husband will definitely consider me a messy person. Like my house is
Yeah.
clean, but we live here. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to come in
Right.
and like feel like you need to take your shoes off. You can walk right
Right.
to my house. Um, but Adelaide, she wakes up and makes her bed every morning. I do not. I don't know where she
I
gets
don't
that
either.
from. But yeah, there is a standard where like if I'm spending my Saturday here cleaning, you're also going to step up and help me. Like
Right.
we're a team. And in the same sense, when she cleans her room, like I will go in and also help her. So I think there's like a partnership there. And I think that when you are spending the whole day at the gym, I do like the expectation is probably higher for our kids, yes, but also um I don't know. I tell Adelaide a lot and sometimes I do use it as a threat, but I'm like, I'm doing this for you. Like,
Mhm.
yes, I love all of these other kids, but at the end of the day, like I'm not sure that I'm going to have this interest if you don't have this interest. When that happens, like you have to tell me. But also, if I'm going to make these sacrifices and coach and do all of these things for you, then I expect that you're going to reciprocate that and you're going to step up a little bit more than maybe your friends who aren't, held to that expectation. So I do think like mutual respect is important with our kids, and so I try to model that, but also like meet at her level and like, work on that relationship because it can be hard for sure.
Oh yeah. It's hard to be coach and parent at the same time. It's not an
Yeah.
easy job.
And like, I mean, one of my parents, I have tutoring Adelaide at the gym because I can't even, some nights I don't even get to do homework with her. So I'm like,
Yep.
hey, I'll pay you every week if you will just please work with my child.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't have the time, and she needs a little extra help right now. So she's
Mhm.
even getting like tutored at the gym. It's a one-stop shop at this point. We
And
eat.
That's why it's so important to have a gym family like that too. You're so lucky because I
Yes.
struggle with Mia's homework at the gym because I'm teaching classes and I don't have anybody else like that there that I can do that with. So that's like a genius idea. I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have a little table set up in the parent room and it's not as quiet as we had hoped, but for right now, she gets the extra help and it's like a mom who she's a teacher. She works at a local daycare. So I was like,
Right.
and Adelaide really adores her and her daughter and we've been together for since the beginning. She was on our youth team and everything. So Adelaide's, she responds well to her. It's working, but we're only on a couple weeks. So highly recommend if you know any parents who are teachers, like just shoot them a
I may
text
have
and
to
be
get
like,
on that.
can
That's
you
such a good
just,
idea.
because what are they doing in the parent room anyways? And
Oh,
this
yeah, that's
parent
true.
really, she really likes doing it too. So I think she was happy to help. But
You can always trade for gymnastics lessons too. I've learned to do that. Like,
yeah, there
hmm
you go. A little swapsy. Candy, what about respect in your house?
Well, respect. Well, let's see. Well, I
I'll
gave
preface this by, in my last video, I already said Kaisley is the most respectful, most mannered. Like, I adore her.
Yeah, well, you just didn't have see the conversation about 30 minutes ago when she was giving me the business. Well, I did give her a chore list because Carter and Kaylee are home with Pat, and I did give them a chore list. I'm like, this has to be. I want all the chores completed before I get home. So I called. That was within 30 minutes. I gave them about 12 things to do. Within 40 minutes, they had all those finished. I'm like, okay,
How well did we do this?
there is absolutely no way. I mean,
Yeah.
no way. But for them to actually say they did it, the respect level, you know, um, and I think that, in our house, we like to joke around and sometimes I have to remind myself, when we're out in public, the joking of respect is kind of different, like, when we're out in public, you've got to make sure that you're not joking, because, um, when I got a compliment about Carter because he's in middle school now, and I'm like, oh gosh, here we go. Things change when he goes to middle school, and we're trying to get out of the house. We're having the conversation, and I'm like, we are late. You literally we're late. And his teacher came up to me. He's like, I just really like your son. And I'm like, literally, are you serious? Because like 15 minutes ago, I really wanted to wring his neck, like, so, you know, respect is modeled by example. And so Bill and I, we do try to respect each other. And, there's always those ups and downs. And, everybody is going to have those conflicts, but we have to learn to resolve them. They have to see those in the household. They're going to see those in the household. They have to see how it works out, how it plays out. And so they need to see that modeled, and they're going to see it everywhere, honestly. And I think it's how we respond to that. And also, church has really help with that too. And I know that I've tried to learn to take adult conversations away because of processing skills. So that has really tried to help with respect of how they process too. So
Right.
I know that was a lot. So
Well, I know you're doing a fantastic job and I talk about Kaisley only because my relationship is, you know, we've had more time together than with Carter or Addie Joe. But Kaisley, when she comes over, we've had sleepovers, all those things. Like even Dave is like, gosh, she's the sweetest little thing. I'm like, I know. I'll take Kaisley any day of the week. So
yeah,
you're
well,
doing great.
you're
Um, all right. So, as a coach, how do we all teach our athletes to respect themselves, to respect their coaches, to respect their teammates, their opponents, property? Like, what are we doing every day to instill this value in our athletes? What are our initial thoughts?
So something that I did, and I did as a teacher as well, is I kind of start more harsh at the beginning of the year than I do at the mid-year end of the year, because I think I set my expectations high and I give clear guidelines to parents and to kids. Here is what I expect. Here is what I want. This is going to be throughout the year. We're not going to change. I really, my earphones are messing up. I really try to make sure that it's clear what we need, what we want, what we expect at the gym. And I think that's important because sometimes coaches aren't really and gyms aren't super clear on that. But
Right.
and I definitely think that one important thing is getting the parents to understand what you say to your kids directly reflects how they feel at practice. Because I'm
Hmm.
finding that sometimes the negative attitudes don't necessarily come from the kids, or the disrespect doesn't necessarily come from the kids. It's a learned behavior they learn at home.
Right.
So that's a struggle all the time, I
Yeah.
think.
That's a good point. I've never really thought of it that way. Um, yeah. Candy, what do you think?
Yeah, it is a learned behavior, I think, a lot. But we are, and I think that since we started with the girls from the very beginning, they have learned that expectation from the beginning. And parents already knew from the beginning what they were getting themselves into. And I know um, some parents may not agree with that, but discipline, um, kids respond um, great with order. And I experienced that with my own children and with other children. And kids respond differently to one person, differently to another person. But, it takes a family to raise these kids. I'm telling you, it takes a village. I mean, honestly, it really
Right.
does. It takes my church family, it takes my gym family. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
Carrie, if you ever see my kids, girl, you better correct them. Like honestly. So, I mean, it just
Yeah, I would agree. And when I like was asking this question, the one word I would just that was in my head the whole time, and I'm glad that we're all on the same page because I feel like we all were leaning towards like the word expectations and just
Mhm.
making sure, like Carrie said, the expectation is set from the beginning. And then, like Candy said, keeping a structure like so that the kids know what to expect during practices and having that order and having the expectation of discipline and having the expectation of respect. I think that like that definitely helps, right? It's really hard for a child to get in the mindset to improve or in the mindset to be excited about practice if they don't even know what to expect. Like I don't know like how you run your classes, Carrie, but like it as long as you've been to the gym for a couple of months, like you any of my kids could lead the first 30 minutes of my class, minus,
Yep.
I'll throw in a couple different drills here and there based on our needs, but like we are always going to start with bunny hops, forward, backwards, side to side, front to back, one leg, right leg, left leg.
Right.
We always start with our standing stretches, right, left, center, pike, sit down. Same, you know what I mean? We always do our lunges, we always do our splits. And so I think that that gives the kids a little bit of comfort and also, especially during the beginning of practice, allows them to like um, transition into the gym easier. They're coming from a busy day at school, right? Like who knows how their test went that day? Who knows what relationships were like during their day? Who knows what the crazy car ride was like trying to get to practice at 4 or 4:30? Did they eat? Like there's all these factors, like you said, conversations happening outside, whether they're in their home or at church or in their school or with the neighbor friend, like all these different factors coming into the gym. So at least we give them like the structure of that first 30 minutes to like know exactly what to expect, order. Our kids know like yesterday, um, it was time we break out the clipboards and that means like we're running full outs. That means that your name shouldn't be on my board. And if it is, we're going to condition after practice. This is something we talked about. And so Adelaide, she had some nerves going into yesterday's practice. I told her, yeah, I had planned on going to Walmart before, like during the day, and then I ended up having a meeting, and then that lasted longer. So I missed like the first 15 minutes of practice because I had to run to Walmart. And she was like, well, we're going to Walmart to get the clipboards. And I was like, we are, honey. She didn't even know. Like, she just knew, like, we're going to Walmart to get the clipboards. And I was like, we are. And she was like, gosh, I know my name's going to be on there at least once, but I'm hoping I can just maybe only do like 20. That's my goal, to only have to do 20 push-ups, burpees, or laps, whatever you're going to have us do. I only want to do 20. And I was like, that's a realistic goal. I appreciate that. Um, but I think like right, the expectation makes it so much easier on the kids, and to develop that relationship and that foundation is huge. And to have the expectation of what rules do we need to follow? How do we treat the gym? I want my from throwing your trash away, taking your water bottle with you when you go home, leave your stuff in your cubbies, like whatever it might be, having those expectations.
And then you have Addie Joe that wants the clipboard to play with. And I'm like, Addie, you cannot have the clipboard. She's on a little honeybee.
I know, but Candy, Carrie, do you have little mini me's at your gym?
Yes. Yes.
Um, like Candy has one on her little honeybees. The honeybees are our tiny, um, what are they called?
Novice.
Novice,
Thank you.
yeah.
I got you. I got you.
We just,
They're
they're
little tiny
honeybees.
novice. They're so cute. They are
Oh,
wild. Candy coaches that one with my mom. They're a lot of fun, a lot of energy. And so we have another level one prep team, and we have some crossovers that go from our prep to novice. And when we started that, we try to explain to parents, like, these crossovers, they're going to be the older kids. They're going to have to step up. They're going to have to help. Like we made it more of like a mentoring the
that's
little one,
smart.
helping out type of thing. Yeah, ask Candy how it's going. But so every day, someone leads stretches and they take turns and they lead the drills. Like she's given them some authority in her
Yeah,
team.
well, the authority turns into a little mini tailored. Okay, get your legs straight.
It's
Now
not my
I'm gonna
kid.
tell you. Now you gotta stretch.
We're
Now
only
one
going to
more
start counting when
time.
everybody's in it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
You
love
but
have
it.
to be.
no, but they don't wait. That's the
What
thing.
did
She
what did I
doesn't
hear the other
wait.
day? This was the best. She's like she's leading stretches. She's doing all the things. And she's like, "Thank you, Candy, for listening. Thank you, Carrie, for touching your toes." And I'm like, I am dying. Like, so what we do really does matter. And these
Mhm.
kids really are, like Addie Joe taking the clipboard, probably because, like my daughter, she wants to be a teacher and a coach, like she sees us, we are modeling. So what we do really does impact so greatly on these kids. And I just love that. I don't know about you guys. It makes my heart happy.
Well, I did
Oh,
see a TikTok from Carrie, your little girl, doing the oh shoot, it was your last one, the All Star, the
oh, the
Superstar.
Bring It On video.
Bring it on.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
see it. I'm not on
Oh
TikTok.
yeah. Oh yeah. I got her doing the full like, arm dance and all of it. So,
That's
hmm
great.
oh yeah. Listen, more power to you. I did Tiny Novice for 4 years and I finally gave it up this year to have a little bit more family time. And I
I love
commend you. I commend you. Like it's the hardest job. Tiny Novice is the hardest job. It
yeah.
truly is because I love those babies and they're hilarious and they're funny, but also wrangling them in. Oh, it's rough. It's
Thank God
rough.
for Yaya, for Taylor's mom. Thank God.
Well, it
But
takes
you
a
know
special
what?
person.
Yeah, but I do love them. I do love them
They're
though.
fun. They're
They
hilarious,
are.
but they will model you. And what you're starting there is like such a good foundation for everything else they do if they stick with it. So,
Thank God we do have a little bit older kids. So
Well,
that
yeah.
does help
Yes.
tremendously.
oh, my last year I had three-year-olds, 3, 4, 5-year-olds on the team, and there wasn't older ones really. So it was struggle bus, but fun struggle bus, but struggle
Yeah.
bus.
Yeah. I know. It's hard also. Um, I don't know about you, but like we don't even because last year we only had our one team. We were only focused on that team, which was really nice. And comp day, I don't know. I feel like we poured so much energy and time and effort into that one team that, like, to be honest, I enjoyed competition as far as like watching our team and of course like the other level ones and like my time there, but also when it was done I was like I'm out, like I'm overstimulated, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, it's so loud,
Mhm.
I can't even hear my, you know what I mean, like all the things. So I didn't really get to stay and watch as many other levels unless it was like those competitions where they make you wait until 10:30 at night for
Oh yeah,
awards.
that's always fun.
um Yeah, so Johnstown, um, like that's when we got to see some other teams, but like I don't know the tiny novice expectation. I see videos, but of course they're going to post like what they want you to see. And so
Yeah,
It's
how
prep
does
level
that
everywhere.
work?
one, like prep level one, youth level one prep. I don't even know. We watched a few prep teams last year, but like I'm a
Yeah,
little bit
how
nervous
does
about
that
that.
work, Carrie? How
For
does that
which
work?
for which one? Tiny novice or pro?
All of it.
Tiny, yeah, tiny novice.
Okay, well, tiny novice is like you're going to see it everywhere. You're going to see teams who stack their tiny novice team with all older kids, and you can't compete against that when you have 3 and 4 year olds on the mat. So my theory is make it as fun as possible. Let everybody be included in something because this is really the only year you're going to be able to do that. Like let everybody have a chance to fly, let everybody have a chance to back, let everybody have a chance to tumble. I mean, this is their year to fall in love with cheer and for the parents to fall in love with it too. The biggest advice I can give you on like building a routine, because I always build our tiny novice routines, is that include your front roll, include your cartwheel, have a partner moment in the dance, and then from there, just have fun with it and do what you can do cleanly. Because beyond that, it is for that age group, it's just like, oh, you're really cute today. Good job, guys. Like, honestly, and that's what it is. You're just teaching them about cheer. And I think truly the most important age group is that tiny novice group because that is your builder group and just let them have fun, let them learn. And now for prep, we've never dabbled in prep, but because here's my theory on prep. Prep is bigger than your elite division, and it is almost harder because I'm finding gyms are stacking their prep division more than they are elite division. So we have opted just to go to elite. Now we've thought about going to prep, and I think we've had prep teams in the past, but I I don't
Yeah.
know much about the prep.
And I actually talked to Deb last year because we started our season last year thinking we were going to go elite. And then, one thing led to another. Candy and I are very competitive. And we were like, no, this is not for us. Like, we're going to go straight elite. And so we canceled our first competition and just focused on like going elite. And that was one thing Deb had talked to me about. And she was like, Taylor, I'm telling you right now, like the elite is, you're gonna have smaller smaller numbers when you show up to competition. These other teams stack them like they're elite teams. You might as well just go elite. So that did like sit in the back of my head. For us to go prep was more about we knew what it looked like from last year to be competitive at elite level. And um, and that's like I'm talking time, cost,
Right.
energy, like all the things. And so we just decided like for prep, we're going to have less expensive uniforms and we're going to have less practice time and we're going to have fewer competitions. We're going to start the season later. Eventually, like I think that the route I see us going is that if you want to compete in youth cheer, if you want to be a school athlete, like you're going to be on a prep team. If you want to be an elite athlete, that's going to be year round. We're going to start in November. You cannot compete with these other
Mm-mm.
programs. And so that's kind of the approach, how we're like separating it right now. Whether that'll work or change, I have we're on year two. I don't
I
know.
think that's genius. No, I think that's a great
Yeah.
idea, especially setting up that expectation. If you're going to do another sport, prep's your way to go because it
Yeah.
is really hard, especially in West Virginia with all these rules that we have,
Mhm.
to be able to compete and be a high school cheerleader and be an all-star cheerleader. It's next to near impossible nowadays.
Right. But
And
we
we
were
encourage them
honest
to
with
do
our
that.
parents. Yeah, we were honest with our parents when we met preseason, before tryouts, everything. We gave our info packets and I was just like, I'm gonna be honest, like prep, I've been cautioned by other coaches, Deb Hartman as one, saying like that they're just as hard, if not harder, than elite teams. So know that going in, we may not place as well as we want. We may not get the results that we want, but it will be a year for you to dabble in all stars, figure it out with less pressure, stress. So, and the end of season event was a big one too. Like, I don't, I don't know that everybody would be, not that we would make it to Worlds or go to Worlds with every team if we win elite, but that decision doesn't even exist for our prep teams. Like world is out. Even if we get a bid, we're not going as a
But
prep
they
team.
know that.
We made that decision. Like as a prep team, we're not going to go all the way to Orlando. We will only go to, we'll see. Closer,
Well,
less
I think
expensive.
that's why the prep teams have gotten so big and they're stacking them is because they have that prep end of the year competition now. And I mean, it's huge, but
Yeah,
going to Worlds now, our division that we were in last year, it is the extra small is one of the biggest divisions too. So, I mean,
Yes.
it may be smaller leading up to that event. So you look at it as a building each time. But once you get to Worlds, it's like you're in the biggest group.
for
I mean,
sure.
Yeah.
truly.
Oh gosh, I know. I even talked to Candy. I'm like, if we get a bid, do we want to accept it? Or like how does that even work? Because last year someone was in the like non-bid group, but they had gotten a
Yes.
bid. Like I saw where they got a bid. So how
Don't
did
And
they
they
just
get
didn't
me
take
opt
it.
started about
into
bids.
not do that? I want to just opt into not doing that.
I've
I want to
told
be in
Debbie
the
that too.
non-bid
It's
group.
easier to do that. And I think some coaches are going to pull that this year. I think last year you saw that division be smaller into the battle round or whatever they're calling it now. But
Yeah,
I guarantee you're going to see a bigger division there this year because the coaches have caught on to this. And I was even one of them that was like, I think that that is an option for us, but I doubt we'll do that.
yeah, and at the end of the day, like you're gonna make it, you might make it to finals easier, but you're still gonna be stacked against the rest. So,
Right.
it does get you one extra day. But anyways, well, that was a little sidetrack, but that's
Sorry.
okay. No, but you know what? I think that what we're doing right now as coaches with two different programs, we do compete again. I think you guys have a mini level one this year.
Yep. I coach
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
Ah, yay! So
I
we will
know.
compete against each other, and we're modeling having respect for one another, and which we're always going to support you. I love that you guys are right down the road. Deb Hartman has been so good. I mean, we cheered at Gym One. You were like the inspiration to my journey of cheerleading. I don't know if you even knew that, but like
Oh, that's
Carrie
sweet, but
Park.
you're crazy.
Brianna Payne is at my gym. I don't know if you remember Brianna.
Yes, I love her.
Uh-huh. And so I don't know. It's like full circle moments. Like I was a baby. How old were Brittany
Yeah.
Shapiro?
Hmm.
I mean, we carpooled every day to Gym One. Brittany's Carrie's little cousin. I don't know if you knew that, Candy. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, Carrie was like the cool older cousin, and Brittany and I were together all the time. You were on like at least you were on juniors and seniors or just seniors?
For All Stars, I was just on seniors because I was in the very first Gym One team my freshman year.
Yeah, well, you guys were good. Do you remember we went against Top Gun? Like to think back on
Hmm.
and like lost by a tenth of a point at Hershey Park. I'm so sad
Hmm.
still. Um,
Oh, you guys had one of the best. I don't know if you were on the team then, but it was at Hershey, and it was one of the best recoveries I've ever seen in my entire life to this day. You had a girl break both ankles at the same time on the floor. The front
Oh
spot took
my
over
God.
as the base and hit a flawless routine all the way through. I still remember it today. It gives me goosebumps. Like it was insane.
so I don't remember that, but do you want to know what I do remember at Indianapolis? We had a girl who was hit by a car. She was fine. She was struck by a car. She spent her day in the hospital. I remember back then, like, I want to see the score sheets from that time because, like, I was young, so maybe I don't remember the categories, but I swear it feels like there was just Pee Wee, like
Hmm. That's what it
junior
was.
prep, juniors, seniors. And then it was just like whatever you got, there were no levels. You just put it out there because I was a Pee Wee and junior prep throwing fools.
Hmm.
Make it
Yeah.
make sense. Like, but then we were probably doing like preps. Like I can't remember really stunting a whole lot. I just remember tumbling. But I remember Phil walked up to me at Indianapolis. We were warming up. We were in this big convention center. I remember feeling so small. And he looked at me and he said, Taylor, we need your full. You got to throw it. And I was like, what? I had never done it by myself. He's like, you know that you can do it. You have to throw it. We need your points. And I was like, okay. He's like, you're taking at her name was Lakin. I don't remember her last name, but that's who was hit by a car. He's like, you're taking her last tumbling spot. And I was like deer in a headlights. I threw that full. I touched down, but the judges didn't catch it. It was just one of those swipe your hand across the floor as you run. Because also we didn't back then. It was like you didn't even like really clean or walk. Like yes, it was clean, but
You
like
just went.
yeah, I mean, you snapped at the end of your tumbling like you did something. Mine was a hand swipe across the floor, and I just ran straight to jumps, and defeat the gym. It just can't be done.
Oh
We
yeah.
only one champion.
Jim won. That's so
Uh,
funny.
but yeah, I do remember that. But I just remember always being in the gym, like staring at you and Gabby and just being in awe. So just know that about yourself.
Well, thank
You
you.
you definitely inspired me.
But going back to Worlds, I want to tell you guys, like, when it comes to like having our teams in the same division, I could not be more proud of having a team from my hometown and you guys doing it. Like when I see our athletes, I'm always like, girls, let's get a picture. I actually call you our sister team because I feel
Aw.
like I want my girls to have that connection. I know what a rivalry in a state can look like between all stars, and I just think it's so kind of silly because we are representing our state and we want everybody to do good. Yes, do I want my team to win? Of course, I want my team to come out on top, but I also want to compete against teams that are succeeding as well. I don't want to see you fall. I want to see the best for you guys. And when I saw like all of our coaches sat at, and we waited for you guys at Worlds to come on because we were
I
so
know.
excited for you. And like we went to the side of the floor, we were cheering your girls on. It doesn't matter that we were a different gym. I don't care. I'm just so proud of like what you guys are producing out there and what because you're making cheerleading better as in our state. So it doesn't matter that we're from different gyms because I absolutely like I'm telling you, Amy and I were like tearing up a little bit, going, heck yeah, go girls, go. I mean, I loved it. And that's
I
how it
know
should
you were,
be.
and I really appreciated that. And I think I even meant to, and I maybe messaged Amy or both of you and thanked you for coming. But I just remember like being in the zone and being so proud of that we hit. And
Oh,
I
I was
like
so
ran right
proud.
past you, but I was like, hey guys,
No,
thanks
you did.
for
I
watching.
get it.
I
I
think my
get it. When
hat
you're
flew off. Like I was in my
the
goofy little hat.
Oh, I loved it. The adrenaline coming off the floor. I get it. Like there was no problem. We were just so proud.
Yeah.
But your
But I
hat,
did see you and I appreciated you being
I
there.
better see that hat come again this year
Oh,
because,
it's
and
coming.
maybe more bling on it because I loved it.
Exactly. Yeah, so we have a good time supporting each other and same, like we're always going to be right there. I'm, supporting you guys right there along with you. And I liked what you said. Like we went same. Like I told Zach, I was like, we didn't go with like I had Josh Wolf choreograph our prep routine and I explained to both of them like I know Josh is choreographing a lot for champs. Like I don't also want to be competing with the same choreographer, So like
Right.
I
Makes
chose
sense.
Zach to do our elite team. And I was like, nothing against either of you. Love you both. Like you're both all of our routines are gonna be great. So I'm excited. I still want to I still want to win, but I want to go against the best. So like I'm cheering for
Right.
you guys. I want you guys to push us. I want our girls to watch your videos and be like, dang, they're really tight. Because,
Yeah.
like, dang,
Right.
they're really good. Or you guys also have older athletes, which I think is really nice. Like, we haven't gotten there yet, right? We haven't built our program. Like, when we started this gym, we were focusing on kind of our kids' age because that's what we coached and
Yeah.
that's what started us. And so, and it's just not that we love our high school athletes, we love our middle school athletes, but our relationship started there. And
Right.
that's where like the numbers have also
And that's
flowed.
how you build. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but those older athletes are so important in our gym. And so that's
Yeah.
one thing. And we don't have the numbers right now.
I
Um,
think you'll get there. You'll definitely get there.
We will, but that's something that like I like to show off at champs. Like, oh my gosh, they had a fool's class. Girls, watch this, or your front tumbling clinic. Like I'm showing our girls because I want them to see, what this gym will become or like the journey to,
Right.
um, yeah. And I'm glad that you said about your hometown because yeah, that's just one thing I feel that was one of our reasons why. Like I didn't want to do the carpooling thing and I wanted to bring it right here in our hometown and
You have a need there too. In that
we do.
area, geographically, there isn't, I mean, other than Champs and a few other gyms, like there's nothing in Elkins really. There's nothing in
Yeah.
that area. And I feel like you guys had a real need for it. And I think that as you guys go, it's going to get bigger and bigger. I do.
Yeah, I think so too. It's been fun. It's been
Good. It looks
stressful.
like you guys look like you
Stressful.
have fun though. Everything
We
on your
do.
social media just looks like fun.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. Candy brings a lot of energy to the gym, which is great. We're a good balance.
I'm worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 40. I mean, hey, do you ever just like ache sometimes?
Every day of my life after
I
cheering
mean,
this many years, oh, the
I mean,
arthritis is
it,
real.
if you're not hurting, I need to know your secret
There is
because,
none. I
oh my
heard.
goodness.
Lots of
Okay.
ibuprofen, probably shouldn't, but lots of
I
ibuprofen.
know. maybe, gosh, I
Y-
need to go to a chiropractor.
Nah, I don't even do that anymore. I just sit there and get stiff and can't move.
I know. It's like worthless to even go because you have to go back in 2 days, probably. They say go every week, but probably two.
Listen, we are having a showcase and we're inviting like all these local teams. You know, we have youth cheer coming, we've got us, we've got the middle school, the high school, we've got the dance factory, we've got another dance
Oh,
studio, a little twirling group coming. Like it's gonna be fun. And I was trying to think of like who should we invite to, we're selling t-shirts and we have youth cheer is gonna run the concession stand. And so we've got these little things, and I was thinking, you know who we should invite? Dr. Jonas, the chiropractor. Like he should just set up a shop and like a little,
yeah.
like a
Okay,
quick fix booth.
were you guys at Hershey this year?
No.
Okay, let me tell you about Hershey. Okay, so what they
Okay.
do there, this sounds like it. What they do there is for coaches, they have a coach's room. You can get your
Oh,
nails done for free, like
stop
manicures,
it.
pedicures, massages. They have like
Oh,
Wow.
all kinds of like wonderful services. Now you
I
tip to
would
people,
never
but
leave.
still, you could make a lot of money off of that if you could. Like, it's an
Yeah.
idea. I'm telling you.
Candy. I don't know. That 5.5 hour drive to Hershey's sounded a little bit better for next
It's
year.
worth it. It's my favorite
Girl,
competition during the year. It just,
Yeah.
even just like the competition itself is really good. But
Arnold
like,
who? Like, I mean,
well, that was a really good one too, I won't lie. But Hershey is just, it's sweeter because it's chocolate. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a little bit nervous about that because Arnold last year was our first competition
oh my
and we
gosh.
got our bid, which
Don't even get me started about our bed.
Candy really thought that getting a bid was going to be this like big announcement at awards, and like you were going to get
Because
this
I didn't do All Stars.
golden invite. She thought she was going to get something in the mail that sang to her and exploded.
I
Like she
thought I was
wanted
going
this
to be on national
grand.
TV.
And so
Like,
when they shared it on their social media, and then I shared it to the parent, well, I had a parent send it to me and was like, does this mean what I think it means? And I was like, I honestly like have no idea.
it's so funny.
Just looking back, we had no clue what we were doing. We were winging it, We have a little bit more this year, still kind of
I was
winging
in the
it.
middle of class.
We're learning.
Parent comes in. I'm like, what is this? Like, what
She's
is
like,
this?
ew, send it back. I don't want that. She's like, they better send something else. And I was like, Candy.
I was not appreciative.
I
But
was like, that's
now
not how
looking
this
back,
works. And she was like,
I
what
know.
do you mean? Like they need to make that. She wanted like this. She really wanted something to come sparkly, exploding, singing. Like she wanted dancers to hand deliver it to her at work.
Hey, it doesn't matter what year you're in. Our first competition, it was my first year coaching our minis, and we won our first competition, but they handed us like it was a US finals. Like you get a full paid
Uh,
bid to US finals basically. And I was like, oh, we got into worlds. Like I was so confused. The parents were confused. I like, trust me, cheerleading awards are just simply confusing and they aren't
Yeah.
that exciting when you get like into it. It's like, oh, here's your slide. Good job.
Yeah, your
Congratulations.
slide like 10 hours after you're home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
was like
sometimes it's
late.
not even 10 hours. Sometimes it's like 3 days and you still
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
And they don't
yeah,
even tag you or like email you for
No.
week. Yeah, it was weird.
yeah.
Not what we were
I was
expecting.
ungrateful. I will have to apologize for that
It,
moment.
But once
I
you
was
get there,
actually,
it's nice. I mean, because the
Oh,
Worlds was
competitions are
really
good to
nice.
you.
it was
It's
a
just
great.
Yeah.
confusing.
Like that
Now,
was the nicest coaches room experience we had had at any of our competitions was Worlds.
oh, well, then Hershey's 10 times better because Worlds is like
Really.
nothing compared to Hershey. Like, I'm telling you, it's the
Andy,
one you need to go to.
next year we might have to.
It's great.
I don't know if I
One
can
more
make.
question, and then we got to get back on track a little bit. I've enjoyed so much of this conversation.
Sorry.
Candy and Carrie. This is okay. Carrie, where are you guys going this year? I think Deb sent me the schedule, but I can't remember where we'll see you.
God, I would have to look it up. I am the
Yeah.
worst. Like my husband literally like does all my bookings and everything for me through credit card points. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I'm there. I'm the passenger princess and the coach and I
I
go and
love
back and
that for
forth.
you.
But we do
That's
have
so
one
nice, though.
competition. It is. We do
Yeah.
have one competition we collide at, and I'm so glad because I'm really excited because Lakin is
Yeah.
Aria's a really good friend too. And I
Yeah.
had them over at the house the other day. I was tumbling with them, of course, because you can't get away with not doing that.
Yeah.
But I know I'm so excited because they'll be able to hang out together.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know. So we're not taking our prep teams to Arnold, and we will see you guys at Arnold. So poor Lakin, she was looking forward to that one so much.
I know. So, well, maybe she'll still travel. I don't know. Maybe I can talk her
Yeah,
into it.
maybe we'll see. But yeah, she was like, "We're going to Arnold, right?" And I'm like, "Honey, not your team, not this year. But if that's a goal of yours, like that's a very good goal to have.
Right.
Let's work really hard. Let's try to do that next year, you know.
Right.
Just because we're like I said, we were trying to keep costs low. We're trying to keep our prep teams a little closer to home, not travel as far.
Right. Which is
That
smart.
would yeah, that would put us at two comps because we have that and then Rise in the same month. So that's why we chose not to do Arnold, you know, this year, but we'll see. Anyways, so Carrie, you mentioned in the beginning of our conversation about like parents and the conversations that they're having at home and how that really affects your team and your teammates coming to practice with positive attitudes. Like, how would you, is there any advice that you can give or encouragement that you can give to parents or little like habits that they can instill to maybe improve what that looks like?
Yeah. So what I try to do with my kids and with my athletes is I really like when I'm sitting with them in the car, my kids, and they're having a rough day at practice. And trust me, I have rough days at practice too. And we don't always get along with everybody. And it's not always an easy situation. We're human beings. So I definitely try to leave that out of the car. So I vent to my husband, but I won't vent to my kids because I think if we start saying, well, today at practice, it was just a rough practice. You guys weren't doing good, or I think this coach should be doing this, or this coach should be doing that. And we can fall into that very easily as parents watching from the sidelines. And I think when you do that with kids in the car, it makes it so difficult for them to have a positive attitude like, oh, well, my coach isn't putting me in the right spot, or my coach isn't doing this right. And so they reflect that at practice. Like you can see their attitudes just drop. I mean, I see an athlete go from being super positive, and then after being with a parent, they come back and they're just like, well, I know I suck. Yeah. And I just think keeping it really positive and no matter how you are feeling as a parent, you need to make sure that, yes, you can tell your kid they messed up, but let's do it in a nice way. Like, and I'm
Like you
guilty
can
of
do
this
better. I know
too.
you can do better. You got more in the tank. Let's keep going, you
Right,
know?
exactly. And yeah, at practice as coaches, I definitely try like to not downgrade a kid in front of them. Like I want to know they're doing something wrong, but I'm not going to look at my coach and go, well, they're just sucking today. They're not doing good. They're not doing what I asked them to do. I mean, what if a kid hears that? Then they just, it's sad for them. They don't want to hear that. And I think we need to keep coaching in a positive manner and keep parenting about cheerleading in a positive manner. And I definitely tell my parents at the beginning of the year, if you have a positive attitude about cheer, even when you're having a bad day or your kid's having a bad day, it's going to help them have a better attitude about it.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. And I think that's important for parents. And I don't know, one thing I think that we can all agree on is that we're always going to have, like, no matter what, like the state, we have contracts. I don't know if you guys have parent contracts at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And part of that parent contract says, like, ultimately, in a very wordy, lengthy way, it says, we are the coach. We've been entrusted in this position. You are entrusting us in this position for a reason. You are the parent who has not been entrusted with this position for a reason. So I'm always here to help resolve conflict. I'm always here to answer questions. And I always want your child to grow. And you're always going to have parents who disagree with you. So, like, how does how do you handle conflict? How do you handle disagreements with parents, or like to what degree are do those conversations happen?
I really try just to be transparent with every practice that I have. We have Sports U, and I'm sure you guys have something similar to Sports U. So I try to, after every practice, give some notes about what's happening in practice because we have closed practices and they can't come in there. I also try to invite the parents when I can, not always, like the last 5 minutes to show them a little something that we worked on. I think that communicating with them is key, especially when you have a parent that's upset over their kid being moved or their kid not being in the spot they feel that that child should be in. I think the most important thing is to talk with the parent and the child and get them to understand, like not just talking to the kid. As coaches, I see some coaches like just talk to the kid and say, well, tell your mother. You can't do that. You have to be, especially with young kids, like with older kids, yes, I understand that. But with
Mhm.
young kids, I think that talking to the parent and being like, okay, here's what's happening at practice. Here's the issue we're having. If she works on it, and we're not saying she can't be in it, nothing's ever final. She can be put back into a spot, but this is the puzzle piece that we're dealing with now. And as a coach, we have to put those puzzle pieces together and not cater to parents because then that's when we get these teams that they're just not meshing well, or it becomes dangerous because you want Sally Sue in the air. And what if she gets hurt if she's not ready to be in the air? She needs another year.
Yeah.
So I just
Not only
think being
that, but
super
like you
transparent.
start losing respect from other athletes or other parents when you
Yeah.
start like lowering the expectation for the
Hmm.
team. So to keep the culture thriving and alive and vibrant, like I feel like you really, yeah, I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
Just being clear and um I'm glad that you said like nothing's set in stone because we'd be making changes all the way up to worlds, you know.
The
If
day of worlds. I mean, come on.
yeah, yes,
I was
exactly.
wanting
In
to
the
make
parking
changes
lot.
today.
Yeah. We'll put them right in the parking lot of the hotel. Do you guys do practice in parking lots?
Listen, we've done in grass. But typically we like find a grassy area, but if not, like we rent the room at Worlds too, like that
Yeah.
everybody rents. But other than that, like we're not parking lot
That
people yet.
everybody
I've just
rents. Wait, what?
did you
Everybody
not?
rents a room at No, we don't rent a room at World. I don't even know
Okay,
what you're
talk
talking
to
about.
Debbie. She's got a contact. Like you literally rent like times. It's like 30-minute time slots. And it's kind of expensive, but you go to one of the hotels and the mats are set up, the music's set up for you, and then it's nice. It's
You get
expensive,
math and
but it's
music and
nice.
everything, Candy. What?
Yeah. Yeah, you talk to Debbie. She's got a contact. I don't know. She sets it up, but it's worth it, I
The
think.
things of being an established gym. See, we learn every day.
Hey,
Hey, that's why we talk to each other so we can all
good.
learn.
Yeah. Candy, what are your thoughts? How do we as
I
coaches
Well, I think
encourage
that it's
parents?
very important, when we have a like a stunt that doesn't hit, I always try to tell the kids, don't blame it on one person because it takes everyone in that stunt group to make that happen because not just one person, it could be like their knee or their ankle, but you know, it may be the flyer, but it also could be the one that's controlling the ankle. So there's so many factors, and they all just need to work together. And so I just try to take the blame off of just one person and the pressure. So because one person may be having a hard day, and it could be just them. So I try to tell them to not blame it on one person, because because it would be hard to be the ultimate reason why that person, that's not stunning. And you know what, if their attitude is just stinking, bye. Like, I'm sorry, but it's
Truth hurts.
I'm sorry, I mean it,
I
but
was gonna
it's
say that thank God for Ariana because I feel like maybe Carrie is more of the Ariana, like the positive pants in the gym. Like I know that Candy and I maybe struggle a little bit more being positive.
I can be positive.
Like I'll just be honest when I say I'm a hyper critic. I was talking to one of my parents earlier this morning and I was
I
like,
can be positive.
I'm
Tell
just
me I can be positive.
I just like when I see a routine, and like coaching styles are different. Like some coaches will just say, they'll give their team two criticisms for that routine and then, whatever. I am like now I'm like on my whiteboard, there's going to be 20 things. Aren't there, Candy? Literally like I'm talking 20. I'm going to call every individual out. Like everybody by the end of the routine, I'm going to have something for you to fix the next time. Now I will say, like last night, when Adelaide fixed her standing tumbling and straightened her legs finally after the third time I told her, I'm like, Adelaide, that was so much better. Thank you. Or when Delaney was counting out the counts for her group of running tumbling, I was like, Delaney, I really liked how you counted out the counts for your team. That was really good. So I do try to like, once they make the correction, like acknowledge the correction, but it doesn't come natural for me. Like I have to force myself to do that. Or when we do have a hard practice, like there are days I walk out and I don't have one positive bone in my whole body. I want to scream.
But
Like
after this last practice, when we did the full out with music, you did have some really good things
I'm no good.
because I was wanting to change a few things, and you're like, no, absolutely. The one time that we did really good, yeah, I don't want to change nothing
Candy's the queen of changes. She's just like it's gotta go. And I'm
because
like,
it looks messy, and I'm like, bleh.
But you guys are making a
So,
good combination for coaches. And what you said about like being positive, I think that's what makes a good coach. It's not always that comes easy, but you know that there are negatives, but you have to lift up the kids too at some point because you can't completely keep them down. So I
yeah.
think that's great. That's what you should be doing. I'm called the too nice coach at our gym. But what people don't realize is that I'm not as nice as everybody thinks I am. I'm just it's just my coaching style. I've watched so many different coaches from Phil to Madam to my college coaches, and I've seen so many, like, no kid is the same. So I feel like you have to adapt your coaching style to every single kid on that floor. Where I
Hmm.
can yell at one and be like a little bit more stern with one. I don't want to say yell, more stern with one. I've got other ones who I know that just can't handle that mentally. And we're growing up in an age with our kids where they just aren't able to necessarily handle that, I'm finding. And we have to adapt as coaches more than we normally would. So I
Yeah.
can't be like one coach was with me and like more stern and mean, but I have to be like, okay, this kid can do that, but this kid necessarily can't.
And I
Yeah.
think that we did that really well when we were coaching youth. Because, when we first were coaching and we first started together, I necessarily didn't want to coach. I coached middle school and high school, and then I was done coaching for a while. I wanted to just, wanted somebody else to kind of take the reins, just wanted to enjoy watching, my girl cheer. And when we first started, we just kind of, started coaching together. And then I think that's where we all balanced each other, and we brought the best out, you know.
Yeah.
So we
And I do
balanced
think it
each
takes that
other.
balance. Like, I'm sure if we had a gym full of your positivity, Carrie, that not that it wouldn't work, but like
It would be rough.
yeah, we want dimension, we want, a little bit of everything. And so I am going to quickly monitor our comments, check our Facebook comments, but while I do, I just don't want you to see me like clicking and doing things and think I'm not being respectful.
No, you're
I'm just
fine.
gonna do something. Oh yeah. And so if you have any comments to share, please go ahead and share those in the comment section so that I can share them with our audience. I'm gonna look at our Facebook post because I also asked for some comments on there. I know my mom sent something in a text message that she wanted me to share, so I'm gonna get that together. I know Mitchell's on here watching, or he at least was. So any viewers, share your thoughts in the comments. What did we say that we like that you liked? Did you disagree with anything? Do you want to add anything? Um, do you have a story to tell? So on and so forth. And then my final question to you guys while I do that is just, let me find it. Yeah, how are we, or what are your thoughts? I'm just a firm believer that we are raising and we are developing, I guess, then the future mayors, doctors, attorneys, teachers, welders, nurses. Like we're helping develop real humans, real community members who are making a difference in the world. And um, just what are your thoughts? What's your feedback? What's your advice? What's your Carrie? Do you have a journey to share where you coached, someone to become like what was that like? Candy, same. You teach, like tell me a success story, something good.
Well, starting out, my really, other than my college assistant coaching job, my first coaching job, I taught at Charleston Catholic for sixth grade for 6, 7 years, and I also coached their high school cheerleading team. And this was like my real first head coaching job. And I mean, it really does come full circle because a student I had teaching, I know this is on the pageant side of things, but like when I was in the classroom, the kids knew I was in pageants and I would pull them into community service all the time. And I actually was at the judges table with a girl and I didn't recognize her, but she was like, Mrs. Park, right? I had you in class. And I was like, oh, wow. And she was like, yeah, I remember you doing pageants, kind of why I got into them too. And so what we do model in front of these kids is like so important. I know I've seen some of my athletes grow up now to be college cheerleaders. And I mean, look at the memories we have from our coaches and the impact they made on us. So I think that's something as coaches we have to remember that we are really everything we do is being watched and everything we do is being copied. And we never know when that is going to stick with a kid and when it's not. So always pretend it's just going to stick with kids because what you say is so important, more important than you'll ever know.
Yeah. Candy.
Well, I didn't grow up in Buchanan, but being in Buchanan and going to games and um, just being, in this community and just going to Walmart or just being out in public. So like, hi, Mrs. Lama, or hi, Coach Candy. And, just hearing Mrs. Plymell, Coach Candy, and just seeing them work out in the public and just asking them how they're doing, asking about their family and seeing, where they are. We were at the Strawberry Festival a couple years ago, and the student, he saw me and brought his girlfriend up, and he was like, "Here, I want to introduce you to my favorite teacher." And he had already graduated, and I got to meet his girlfriend. He might have been fiance, I don't know. And we do impact and we set that example, with these children, especially as a teacher, when we see them every day. And as coaches, we see them, you know, a lot when they're in at the gym, and especially all stars because they're there a lot. And and as a teacher, they're there, if you're in there with the classroom, they're there with you the majority of the time. So we're helping shape and model for and setting the example for these kids. And so we're helping raise them. And so the respect, all of this comes into play. So, some of the cheerleaders that I have, they're coaches, they're moms. And so it's really nice to see them grow up and some of the things like discipline they are saying, and they may have not agreed with me, but now they're learning, and it's just a part of growing up and experiencing. And it made me, like I said in the past, it helped me grow up as well. So it's just a life cycle,
Yeah.
and it's just one thing you just have to go through,
Yeah.
and
And I'm
so.
just going to piggyback a little bit on what you said before we, read some of these comments. And people are commenting for once, Candy. We have some comments.
Oh no.
Okay. So, I would just add
Same.
that, like, yeah, as coaches, we have such a great opportunity to touch lives and develop these athletes, but also we rely heavily on the rest of our community, whether that's outside of the gym or our teachers or our parents in the gym. Like, kids absorb and they notice everything. And so, while all eyes in the spotlight might be on us as a coach in the gym, um, there's still light shining on the parents in the parent room. There's still, those conversations that you're having in the parking lot or, just on the way in when you like a little kid's skirt, like acknowledging that or asking about their day. Or, if you see a parent struggling because, there are parking lot tantrums and, offering help or assistance to parents when they might need a little bit of a helping hand or like the list goes on, but just like I said, we have the best gym family. I know you guys do at Champs too, and we rely on each other. It really does take a village. And
It
so
does.
just acknowledging that, even if you feel like you're just a parent, like you're far more than that
Yes.
to these kids, and they're really looking up to us. Adelaide can tell you like almost everything. Like she can tell you more about the parents probably than I can. She'll tell me what so and so's mom does. Did you know so and so's mom does this? And Braylee's mom looked like a bombshell today. I'm like, like she notices everything. Not only her, but everybody else. And so what you're doing, how you're speaking to your child, or each other, like it really matters how you're acting at competitions and what you're modeling, like really does matter. And we're luckily like we're grateful to have what we have, but let's just keep that engine going. So my mom, when I posted earlier and asked for feedback if they had any thoughts, she texted me privately and she said, the Bible oh my goodness, the Bible emphasizes respect particularly in Philippians 2:3, which encourages us to value others above ourselves. To me, respect means recognizing individuals' worth and treating them with dignity. At MSCA, cheerleading builds respect through teamwork, where we listen to each other and put the team's needs first. It also fosters respect for authority as athletes learn to follow their coaches and accept corrections. Plus, we know respect by supporting our opponents and practicing good sportsmanship. Programs like MSCA are essential in developing respectful youth, preparing them to be considerate of leader to be considerate leaders and family members in the future. And I think that's important too, because I do always think about like what they're going to be in the community, but also how they're going to be in their families. So I liked that she added that aspect.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And so you go, Mom. You always know what
Oh
to
gosh, I
say.
love y'all.
Go, Coach. Yeah, yeah. Mitchell says, hello, ladies. Hello, Mitchell. I said, thanks
Hey,
for
Mitchell.
joining us. Share your thoughts about respect. He said, LOL, brain fart. I'm not sure. Um, he says, Lakin, 100% a future mayor, LOL.
Yeah,
And
I
I
would
would
agree with that.
I would too. Like I could see Lakin being a mayor. I know Adelaide wants to be a hairstylist, teacher, and coach. I'm not sure how she's going to fit all that in her lifetime, but whatever.
Yeah.
I see Adelaide as a professional negotiator, and therefore I would say she has a bright future being an attorney. We'll see
Okay.
where the road leads. How about you guys? What are your kids going to be?
Well, Mia says well, hers changes. She's older, so hers changes every day. But I think she's on zoologist right now because her interest is animals. But Aria tells me she's kind of like, I want to be a coach. I want to be a teacher. I want to, she just goes everywhere with it too. So I love that she wants to be a coach though, because that shows that we're doing something right. And I mean, she's not afraid to be a coach. So we must
Yeah.
be emulating something good there.
Right. Candy, what's Kaisley want to be? What's Addie Joe?
Paisley wants to be a baby doctor or baby nurse. Um,
Oh,
Oh,
Carter wants to work with sports. I told him that he's going to have to work in the medical field, so he's going to have to do sports medicine.
perfect.
So
He'd be
he's
so
going to,
good at that.
yeah.
Okay,
So
great.
yeah, Addie Joe, God help us.
Cheyenne Cordial says, comes up as Corey, LOL, her name. But I compared schedules with another Champs Mama, and I think our prep team will be at two of the same competitions, but I cannot remember which two. I know that we'll see you in Pittsburgh,
yeah.
and I know that we'll see you at like our elite team will see you at Arnold. So I'm not sure the second prep competition, but that's so exciting.
That is
Yes,
exciting. My girls will be so happy about that, and Lakin will be so happy about that.
Absolutely. And we'll
I'm
be
happy about that too because I love seeing you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know, same. I do too. I really do enjoy seeing you guys, and it's been fun to like cheer you guys on. And like I said, it's been fun for our girls to see, what the gym down the road looks like, how your program runs, and how big you guys are. Oh my gosh, you all are freaking massive. Like there's so many of you all. When we went to your showcase last year, like I think it took me all day to pick my chin up because I was just in awe of how many all-star teams you had and athletes. Like it was an army. You guys come in like an army. And then you add your parents to it at competitions. I'm like, you have half of West Virginia up there.
Sometimes, I mean, we're getting bigger. And what's sad is we didn't even have our show teams at that performance. I think we're gonna do that
Wow.
this year though.
Yeah, that'll be good.
that'd be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, we'll probably be there with our pom poms, shaking them in the stands again. I liked watching you guys. I thought that was really fun. And
That's fun.
I feel like as
ours,
a coach, I feel like it looked like a train wreck sometimes just because it was
oh,
our first time out and I was so nervous, but
yeah.
it's stressful even at showcase, I think.
Well, ours is on November 1st at the high school.
Oh,
We're
good.
gonna doors open at I think either 6 or 6:15. But yeah, come by and
Exciting.
check us out. We'll be there. I know there's also an event at AB, so I know Gigi has a lot going on over there, and I'm not sure how many.
Is
Like
he
our
have a
middle school.
competition going on?
Yeah, like I know
Oh,
our middle school's going and competing, and then they're gonna come to our showcase after, so
well, I'll
they'll be
try to come to
busy.
the showcase. I always
Yeah,
like to see the girls.
yeah, come check us out. Let's see who else commented. Mitchell says, you ladies do a wonderful job of setting the standard of respect in the gym. The kiddos listen and are incredible when it comes to focusing on the mission at hand when the time comes. I would agree. Thank you. And then Carrie, Cali girl. Do you know Cali Cordial?
I probably, yeah.
She's a pageant girl. She's beautiful. Gosh, those little curls. I just love
I
her.
love
Callie
her.
girl is super excited to see Aria, El Olivia, and the short girls. I think it's Olivia. E L
Olivia,
L
maybe?
E L L
Ellie.
Elodie.
It's
Okay, I'm
Ellie.
sorry.
I know who she's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so she says she's looking forward to
Aw.
seeing all of them at competition.
Well,
So
good.
I'm glad that the kids also have connections. That's really fun.
That's so important too. I think
Yeah.
that is just, it's wonderful.
It is. And of course, my son's dating Maya, or
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
1 year. Yeah. So
Ma
Kobe is,
Maitland,
oh
Maitland's
yeah.
sister.
Oh
Trust
yeah.
me, Maitland was my little coach. Like, I love her to death. She would tell everybody where to go, when to be there. Like, she's on top of it,
I was
man.
wondering who your little mini would be, like besides your kids,
Maitland.
obviously.
It's
Maitland.
100%
I
Maitland.
can
Maitland is my,
totally,
oh,
I
God love
can
her.
totally see it. She is
And that kid is
epic.
so talented too. I
Oh,
mean, she
she
really
is.
is.
I know. I like watching her videos too. But yeah, I'm glad that our kid like that they're starting to meet each other, and I think that
Mhm.
will be fun to watch, like as that progresses too. And I'm also looking forward that to the fact that like the guys in my family are looking forward to competition, even if it takes a girlfriend to get them there. Like, yeah, maybe let's go
Yes.
watch cheerleading, like whatever it takes.
They'll be amazed once they get there about how athletic it really is.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, they were amazed. They can't get over the fact that we do all of this work and they only go out and perform for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Dave's like, "Okay, so what's next? Like when do they go again?"
that's
What do
it,
you mean
buddy.
once what do you mean? Like that's it? That's all we get? And I was
That's
like,
stressful enough. That
"Yeah."
2 minutes, 30 seconds, or 3 minutes, like it's
Yeah.
stressful.
But he's
I
like,
don't
"What
need
if
to
they
do it
mess
twice
up
in
like
one
one
day.
time that they're just out?" I'm like, "They're just out, honey. That's
Yep.
it." So,
Hey, I don't mean to get off of here, but I've got to go back to work.
I know we're running over. That's okay. I'm going to wrap it up. So, have a good rest of your
All
day. Thanks
right.
for joining
Thank
us.
you. See you, Carrie.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.
I got to get my notes here. Oh goodness, where'd they go? This is not good. Oh, here we go. Yes. All right. Well, Carrie, do you have any last minute thoughts that you want to add on today? And
Just for anyone listening, just make sure you're raising like good human beings. Like it doesn't matter their skill level at cheer. Cheer isn't meant to be the best of the best. We're there to learn, we're there to practice, we're there to be good teammates, good people to each other. So as much as we want to have that aspect of like winning and going to competitions, it's not all about that. It really is about what we're creating and what we're fostering at the gym because those lessons they will not only take for a year, but they're going to pass on farther and farther. And even when they get to my age, I still remember what my coaches did. So, parents and everyone, just keep that in mind. What we're doing is not to get a gold medal, but it really is to raise good human beings in our community.
yeah, I agree. Well, this has been another great session with Lunch with MSCA. I knew this was going to be one of my favorites. Carrie, you were wonderful. So thank you once again for being
Thank
here
you.
today and
Anytime. I love it.
yeah, and sharing your wisdom and your heart. You brought a really good perspective and thoughts to this. So thank you. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to both our YouTube and Facebook pages. And don't forget to share this with somebody who may just need a little midweek inspiration. And we will see you next week. So we've already tackled friendships, integrity, and respect. Next week, we will tackle excellence. I do have an opening for next week's guest. So if you have someone you think would be a really good fit, to talk about excellence, feel free to shoot me their name or contact information so I can reach out. If not, we'll do the best we can to entertain you next week. But we will see you next Wednesday at 11:45 for another session of Getting Fired Up. Until then, stay kind, stay humbled, and stay fired up. Have a great day.